Ask yourself. What are they going to do? And it's probably why the FBI is saying, yeah, what are you going to do? How about we fire you? That's what I would do. You're fired.
Yeah.
Take a walk, and you're not getting your retirement either. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You got so close. Too bad. Happens to a lot of people with a lot more integrity than you, sir.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there are good people who lose their job in the federal government while these scumbags are sitting here sticking their finger right in our face, right? They're telling us to go to hell. That's what they're doing when they don't show up and do their interviews with the intel committees. And it makes me so angry. And that's why, doggone it, people, you have to get out and vote in 2018. And don't make the mistake of voting for a Democrat, because the Democrats want these guys. They're the ones that put these guys in here. These are all Democrat, FBI, and DOJ guys. Lifelong Democrats who gave to Hillary Clinton, who gave to Barack Obama. They're sitting there, and we can't get rid of them? You're forcing us to pay for them, and we can't get rid of them. And they're just sticking their finger right in our face. That just drives me crazy. Let's take a call from Gary in Hazel Park. Gary, welcome to the show.
Hey, Gary.
Happy New Year, my man.
You guys were talking about immigration a bit ago, and I would support letting the DACA kids stay, and there's 800,000 of them, by the way.
Ooh.
As long as they stop the chain migration, stop the lottery, and put up the wall, and do the E-Verify, and I got up 2 more. Make English the official language of the country for all politics, all ballots, everything. That'll save a bunch of money.
Yep.
And throw out all of the criminals that are foreign-born in our jail system right now. Just get rid of them. And that'll save us a bunch of money, and we'd have plenty of cash to make the wall to secure this nation. And I don't know why the federal government can't figure that out. You know, you keep spending money on things you don't need to spend money on, such as the ballots. In California, there's like 100 different languages that they have to print ballots in. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
One language, one ballot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Because, you know, if you can't read English, you ought not be voting.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't understand English, you don't understand the politics, what's going on, you're not reading the newspapers or listening to the news or watching television, you have no idea what you're doing, so your vote's probably being bought by somebody.
Univision. All you know is what you hear on Univision. The leftist
Jorge Ramos telling you to vote for a Democrat because he's going to give you free stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you, Gary. There's something's got to be 800,000. I would like to qualify it somehow. I don't know if you do it by age, if you do it by when they came over, if you do it by whether they're working, going to school, whatever you want to, whatever the qualifications are. I'd like to see a tough qualification because I don't know that every of the 800,000 dreamers that are here, whatever it is, should be here. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I agree. But if that's what they come up with and they agree to all the other things that we mentioned already, I could live with that.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world, we send them all back because they shouldn't have come here in the first place. And it's not our responsibility to take care of their kids.
Yeah.
It's their responsibility to take care of their kids.
Well, here's a good question. Here's a question for you. So if these DACA kids are here, right, and they came over illegally with their parents, are their parents still here?
I don't know.
So if the parents are going home, we're throwing the parents out because they're not dreamers. Should they not be going home with their parents?
They're the schemers that brought us the dreamers.
The schemers and dreamers.
That's another point. When you come out of the shadows as a DACA and you say, I want to stay, why don't they ask them, well, where are your parents? You know, where are they so we can find them and reunite you with your parents so they can take care of you.
And we'll throw them all out.
Yeah. I think they see that coming.
Yeah. Well, I think, but you're a good gauge for me, Gary, because if you're willing to see that there's got to be some kind of a deal made, and I think most rational people will say, I think there's going to be some kind of a deal cut on the DACA kids. You know,
there has to be.
There has to be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Republicans are not that. You know, the Democrats want to make us out to be Nazis, right? Mm-hmm. The Republicans are far from Nazis. They're scared of their own shadow. They're not going to throw every DACA kid out of the country. Even Trump right now is not. He's going after the criminals. He's not throwing out just illegal aliens. He's throwing out the criminals. You know, the MS-13, that's what they're working on.
We have a general election coming up, and I smell a platform plank here that should be adopted. Kerry Benevolio, John James, Bob Young, Bob Carr, all these guys. They need
Benivolio's running again?
Yeah, in the 11th. You didn't listen to...
No, sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, okay.
Don't make me feel guilty. All right,
Gary. He's going for Conyers' seat.
Oh, there you go. Gary, anything else, man?
Yeah, and we definitely need to have voter ID when we vote to secure our elections.
Oh, yeah.
So that nobody who's not allowed to vote votes. You know, that's all there is to it.
Yeah, I noticed.
A novel idea.
Yeah, I noticed Chelsea Handler, right, the infamous comedian, woman comedian who's out there always blathering on stuff she has no idea, was saying that again, and literally she's calling Republicans being racist for asking for ID. And I thought to myself, and a bunch of people on Twitter did as well. They're like, so you're saying black people are too stupid to get ID? That's what you're saying, Chelsea Handler. You're a racist. You're a white supremacist because you don't believe a person of color is capable of learning how to get an ID. Well, like sure, everyone's got ID. If you're getting benefits, if you're going if you're buying tobacco, if you're buying booze, yes. So I find it racist to the extreme that a woman like Chelsea Handler would say that. So.
I agree. And, there's so many of the concepts that the left tries to perpetrate upon America that make absolutely no sense at all anyway. So what's the surprise there's one more,
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, great call, Gary. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, guys. Bye.
Have a good one. All right, let's take care of a little business before we move on through the show too much here. Borg Jennings Funeral Homes.
Yes.
The holidays are always a tough time to lose a loved one, but it happens, right?
They're Pastor Rick.
And it's always easier if you've made plans ahead of time. It's like buying insurance or anything else. You should be contacting a funeral home to have arrangements. Pre-arrangements are so much easier than arrangements, right? So Bork Jennings Funeral Home, you can go to Bork, B-O-R-E-K Jennings, JENNINGS.com, BorkJennings.com, or you can call them at 810-231-0200. They have some great educational information. Just call them up and say, hey, can you send me some information? They'll send you an email with a bunch of information. BorkJennings.com, 810-231-0200. Don't leave those things to the last minute.
They've got a home near you. They've got a number of locations. So.
Yeah, Hamburg, Howell, Manchester, and Brooklyn.
Yep.
Brooklyn, Michigan.
Yes. Brooklyn, New York.
Let's take a call from Mark in Howell. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, gentlemen. Just going to wish you a Happy New Year to start out with here tomorrow evening.
No, Happy New Year to you, too.
Thank you. A couple of things. I think this prodding of Jeff Sessions is wishful thinking. We need a Beauregard, not a Bo Peep, okay? And basically, I'm not happy with Mr. Sessions, and, we got to get somebody in there that's going to be forceful and move forward. And then on the Gary's call, great call, by the way, Gary, assimilation. I handle my parents, they're in a nursing home, and I handle all their medical stuff and all that, and I get stuff from the government, and it's got a page and a half of foreign languages on there when I get their Medicare stuff. And it's just ridiculous. Like, you go to the Secretary of State, and you got people there with translators. They need to be assimilating part of this DACA program, or how we're going to bring people legally into this country and with proper vetting, assimilate to our language.
Yeah.
Instead of accommodating, right?
Yes, assimilate, don't accommodate.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
I like
That's
that ring.
That's man. That's a hashtag if ever I've seen one right there, man. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it comes back to having English as your language. You know what? You're coming here, learn the language. If I were moving to Mexico or China or Korea, and I was going to live there and stay there, you bet your sweet bottom dollar I would want to fit in and learn the language to make myself better.
When I lived in Europe, I had a phrase book for Italy. I had a phrase book for Spain. I had a phrase book for Turkey. That was the tough one.
Yeah, I always make that effort when I'm traveling abroad. The last time I went to Germany, it was going back 2005. I did a couple of trips to Germany. I made the attempt, and I learned German enough that I could walk into a restaurant and order, right? And, of course, they all spoke English, and they said, oh, that's a really good try. Thank you very much. But we speak English. I'm like,
exactly.
But at least they appreciated that I made the effort.
What do you really want? Oh, you speak English.
Ein Bier, bitte. That's all I wanted. If I can't order a beer, then I'm lost.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Go ahead.
My best friend, when I was in the service, we were in Madrid, and my best friend spoke perfect German. He had it in high school. He studied it, and now we were stationed in Germany, but we were tasked to Madrid. So we're sitting on a park bench, and he turns to me, and he starts speaking to me in German. high-class German. And, of course, I couldn't follow him. I knew enough, like you said, to order beer, right? Guy on a park bench behind him starts talking to him in German, and they're both talking back and forth in German for a while. And finally, the guy says to my buddy, "What part of Germany are you from?" He says, "No, I'm not from Germany. I'm from the United States." And the guy said, "It's funny, I'm from Czechoslovakia."
Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, Tom, you're still there, or did we lose you?
Oh, no.
We lost. All
Well,
right,
if you're listening, Happy New Year.
It wasn't. All right, let's take a call from Cindy. I'm losing track here. Hey, Cindy, welcome to the show.
Hi. I have a statement on amnesty and all of that.
Okay.
I think we should this should be the last amnesty ever, and allow all of the illegal immigrants here to stay without fear of being deported unless they have broken any law admitting minor infractions. We should close all the borders, build the wall, and fund the wall by having an entry fee of $20 for each person entering the country, but only with a visiting visa or a school visa allowed. With monitoring the visas through ICE in each state that is required to give this information to our federal ICE agencies.
Wow. Well, see,
and requiring the addresses and any known citizens' information and phone numbers that they will be staying with. And with the school visas, mandatory GPAs. With anyone staying over the time allotted should be deported immediately and put on a no-entry register and not allowed back in.
What about citizenship?
Citizenship, if they can speak English by the time the indoctrination into taking the oath, then by all means.
I'm not a fan of giving illegal entrance.
Well, here's the thing, right? So I'm glad, Cindy, that you're thinking this through, because you know what? We need more people to put their brain power on it. Mm-hmm. So Cindy, make sure that you email this stuff to your local congressman, right? Or to your congressman and your senator, who happens to be Debbie Stabenow, and Gary Peters.
For now.
And let them know that, you know what? Hey, a deal can be made. Let's put the right things into place, because you know the one thing that you just said that really struck me when you said $20 entry fee. I don't know how many millions of illegal aliens are in this country. Let's say there's 8 million. Mm-hmm. What if you were to charge every one of them $100? Mm-hmm. $100, $1,000, whatever, $200, and say, give us $200, you can stay. Give us another $200 and you can be a citizen, whatever. There's your money to build the wall.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're absolutely right, because if there's 800,000 dreamers at $100 a piece, what is it, $8 million? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So if you've got 8
there's
million,
20 feet of the wall right there.
There's probably 11 to 12, maybe more million illegals in the country. And if you were to say, hey, all of you, butch up $100, that's your fine, pay it, you're in, and it goes right to building the wall.
But you think
the ones that have came here by their parents and they were children, they should, at 18, 17 and a half, 18 years old, they should be going down and saying, look, my parents brought me here. I've been here my whole life. I want to become a citizen. And they should be put to the front of the line and allowed to become a citizen. Not this, I can't become a citizen because I was brought here. You should just give it to me. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, make them earn it still, like anyone else. Yeah, they should all at least earn.
That's a given.
Do the earning that a legal person who comes through the legal process is doing. You know, do everything that you should have to do legally, and then we'll deal with it.
I'm concerned of rewarding the Democrats for encouraging illegal immigration by giving them these voters. You make them citizens.
I also believe that no person that is becoming a citizen should be allowed to vote in the federal elections for 3 terms of the presidential election. In the state elections, yes, they can go ahead. But in the presidential elections, no, you have to wait 3 terms.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, these are all things that
ideas.
will come up in during